Hi, and my name is Eileen, and welcome to my channel. This channel, we talk about career advice, we help you find jobs, and I'm also the owner of Veer Up. But today, we're going to talk about something that's a little different. We all know about the Great Resignation, but did you know because of the Great Resignation, it has caused some workers to become the working dead? And we're going to talk about it and why it's so important to understand why you should not be the working dead at your company. But before we get started, please like my video and subscribe to my channel. So like I said, the Great Resignation is all across the news. It is everywhere, and we know what it is. We know who's affected. It makes it an employee market, which is wonderful. However, we are not talking about the workers that are left behind. Because when you have workers who are left behind because of the Great Resignation, they chose to stay at their job, we really need to look at why the Great Resignation has caused the working dead. So let's talk about it. So there are some things that I put together to determine if you are the working dead. There's so many different things, but I felt like these are the most important key one. Number one, do you dread Monday morning? Do you think about it on the weekends? And on the weekends, you get that anxiety because you know that you have to go back to work on Monday. That's the sign number one. And number two, do you feel tired at work no matter how much sleep you get? So have you ever, because I used to work a job where I would go to bed at 8 o'clock and wake up at maybe 6 o'clock. And that's well over the 8 hours, but I would still feel so exhausted when I went to work because I knew that I had a pile of stuff waiting for me, a ton of emails, a ton of work. And so that's another sign that you could be the working dead. And number three, no matter how hard you work, you are still overwhelmed. That's a key thing. If you are at work and all you do is work, you don't take a lunch break, you don't do anything, all you're doing is working. And you still feel like you are not on top of things, but you're definitely are being overworked. And that's important to understand that is something that can truly, truly make you become the working dead. And the next one, are you cynical about everything? And I can give you an example. If you ever gone to a meeting and there's someone in that meeting, no matter what it is, no matter how positive the meeting is or how positive, whatever the accomplishment someone did, this person is very, very cynical, or they can't find a positive word about anything. And those are the people who you really have to watch out for, because they could be the working dead. They are the ones that hate their job, and they're going to make sure that you hate your job as well. And then number five, do you fantasize about quitting? That is a huge one, because there's so many people who are quitting. And if you are constantly thinking about quitting, you have a letter that you're going to give your boss, you have the outfit you're going to wear, you have the exact words you're going to say, you are the working dead. And number six, you miss a lot of days of work because you are overwhelmed. That is a key sign that you are the working dead. Number seven, do you go in early, work late, and then work on the weekend? Like I said, this kind of goes back to the one where you're always working, but you never feel like you ever got anything accomplished. And you are the person that goes in early and work late. You are the working dead because you're putting so much time at work that you are neglecting anything else outside of work. So how can you find happiness and joy if all you're doing is working? So since we talked about what is the working dead, let's talk about tips that you can do so you will not become the working dead. And this is so, so important. And it's a two-way street, but these are things as an employee, what you can do to make sure you're not the working dead. The first thing you want to do, and I know this sounds really silly, but you want to take pride in your daily task. You know how you have all these emails, and the first thing in the morning, this is what you do is, respond to emails that came in maybe later, the day before. But you want to take pride in that. That is so important, even though it's as small as your email, but this will get you a jump start on your day. And if you're positive about it and you take pride in it, it will kind of set the tone for the rest of the day. And the second one, look at the bigger picture. If you're working for an organization and it has a wonderful mission and it is doing something that's great, you want to take your job and kind of connect it to the bigger picture. This is really important because it allows you to see that, yes, you may have this job, but in the overall big picture, you play a vital part in the success of your company. So that's number 2. Number 3, you want to find meaning in your work. This is something that is really important. You have to find your passion, even if it's at work. There has to be some aspect of your job that you love, because otherwise, why did you take this job? Maybe it's been 3 years ago or 5 years ago, but go back to what excited you about that job and hone in what that is, because that is going to be key in helping you to get out of this working dead feeling. And the next thing, you have to review your workload with your supervisor, because that is one thing that a lot of supervisors may not even know how overwhelmed you are, because all they know is they see you getting stuff done. And if you're meeting deadline and, they're not going to ask any questions, they're going to say, just keep up the good work. But no, you have to take the initiative to show them, okay, this is my workload and this is how much I'm doing. I am unhappy. And this is why I am unhappy in this job. And so you have to come up. Don't just say this is what it is and what are you going to do about it? No. You are going to have a strategic plan already suggested before you go to your supervisor. So look at your job, your workload, and break it down and make sure you use numbers, and then come up with a plan how you can eliminate some of these tasks. Maybe someone else can do this, or you can hire someone here, but just make sure you have a plan that is financially feasible for the company as well as for yourself. And number 5, you want to learn a new skill. This is so, so important. And it's not just about the working day, but it's also will help eliminate job burnout. So if it's a new skill that's going to help you to do your job better, great. Even if it's a new skill that's not related to your job, you have to keep up your skill level. Online schools, there's so many organizations out there that will help you to develop your skill, a new skill. You can even do your public library. If the funds or if your company funds are limited, you can go out and pay for it yourself. Because sometimes I feel like it is not just the employer's responsibility, it's also the employee to stay up on new skills. And number 6, you want to volunteer for projects to enhance your job. So just say there's a team that has an open project and they really need some help on it. You want to volunteer for that, not just to get the experience, but to network as well as to gain valuable new knowledge, about a job or a position. That's something that you really have to do as well. Those are the 6 things that I feel like that will help with the working dead. Did I leave something out? I would love to hear from you. And I am going to make an effort to make sure I put up a video once a week about jobs, new jobs, as well as how to navigate your employee, because a lot of people are not leaving their job. Even though we talk about the Great Resignation, it's important that we know that the ones that are there, that we can find ways to help them, because everybody's not leaving. And those who chose to stay, we should reward them by giving them a great working environment as well as a great team environment. So let me know what you think. Please subscribe to my channel, like my video. And if you want to get in contact with me, here's my email. I also have a website, and I will see you later.